Do for my birthday?
Yeah. When you turn 100, what you
I don't know. I hadn't planned anything.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ollie. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
She's born May 11th, 1915, and the day is 2015, May 11th. She's 100 years old.
I was a mule horse rider. What you talking about? I went over the horse's head. I was riding the horses so fast I didn't. My mother was sitting in there, and father was sitting on the front porch. They let me ride, and I was riding this horse so fast, and I went over his head and didn't get hurt, and they didn't know it today. I didn't tell them.
Tell me about your granddaddy.
Mean, and I was scared of him. Everybody was scared of him, white and black. He was out full blood Indian. I never seen him smile. He'd look at them. And I was scared of him.
I don't know very much about their parents, but I know that Aunt Pearl and Aunt Dumpy and Aunt Sadie and Aunt Ned. There's another one, Aunt Bertha. They were Muddy and Elodie's aunts. They were her. That was Grandma Samara's sisters.
Well, Grandma Jenny was, in my opinion, a very interesting grandma. She was blind by the time I got to know her, but you really, if you weren't told that, you probably wouldn't recognize it because she was quite capable of taking care of herself. And I remember, the fact that my brother Pete and I, we used to spend a lot of time up around her house when we were kids.
But I was mostly a stealer. I'd steal the snuff and steal the tobacco. Tobacco was the kingpin tobacco. It was sweet. And children tasted because it was sweet. And I would steal it when she would go to sleep and chew it. Swallow it, didn't hurt me.
My old B, now that was my aunt.
See, it was just two girls of them. It was
Emma, her name Emma. And she's just quiet and everything, but I was rough. I was a bad girl.
Uncle Little Dog, Uncle Odie, Uncle London, Uncle Payne, Uncle Faith.
Lana was a piano player. Oh, yeah. He could play that piano. He'd draw people off the streets to in the front of the house, standing listening at that piano being played. He could play that piano.
She got saved when she was 14 years old. She was like 86 years. When she was 14 years old, and it was all the while I knew she was saved. Because if she wasn't saved, she'd have done a lot of damage to some people.
Well, she grew up, she would tell us that she was a good girl when she grew up and she didn't have any problems with anybody because she got married at the age of 16.
That's a very good question. Mom never really talked to me about it. Dad never said anything to me about it. But remembering my mother from the days of old, if you will, when she was a younger lady, I could see why he was attracted to her. She was a beautiful lady, and not only was she a beautiful lady outside, but she was a beautiful lady inside. So I have a tendency to believe that had a lot to do with their getting together.
Oh, I love that lady. She was like, wasn't no aunts, it was mothers both ways. We couldn't sass, one couldn't sass the other one because you would get a whipping. And I always was sassy and she would tear me up.
My mother, Emma, and Olabee, they were sisters. They got along well. And we all got along by what you expect children to get along. And we grew up in Edmonton, went to school together. All we knew was church. Our parents were very strict. She's the first one that got the telephone in the home.
My house was the only house that had a telephone. I believed in business like that. Yes, the telephone. I had electric lights when a lot of people didn't have electric lights. That's right, because I worked out for that.
And I remember we was the first one that had a washing machine. We was the first one to have electric lights. Cost $35 to have the light wired. And the first year, the light bill was $2.35, and my father had a fit.
I remember the day they were wired it up. An argument came up and she stood out there. She was independent. She didn't wait on nobody. And my mother was right with her, whichever way she went. It was like she was the oldest. My mother, that's whatever older we do, she was there. She said that. She fussed, but everybody took lead. The baby took lead. And you know, she succeeded in it. Not only that, if I'm thinking right, she got that road was muddy. Down where we lived, we had to wear boots to the school bus. And Aola got the gravel down there. Yeah, she got the gravel. She used to bring things back to my memory. She got the gravel down and even got the water in.
She would feed us all, and she fixed them big meals. Oh, big turnip greens. She loved turnip greens, and so do I. And she was always so pretty, and she would be singing and just kept us busy. We were just like her children. One time I remember, see, we weren't allowed to play ball on Sundays because they were saved. And we slipped off, me and Caratha and Lily and Ann and Julie. We slipped off to a ball game. And Olabee knew how to drive on Alex tractor. He had a little Ford tractor. And we looked and seen a tractor coming, and we didn't know if that was them coming. And we got somebody to rush us away from that ball game. We laid down in the car because we knew what we was gonna get if they caught us playing ball on a Sunday.
In fact, I got whippings all the time. And she would give us good whippings because she would always had a tree in the backyard. And that tree had long switches on it. And she'd go out there and skin them switches and have us get in line. And then she'd tear us up. And plus, she used to, when Ophelia and I was very small, she always took us to the beauty shop. She was very, very proud of her two daughters. And we got our hair fixed right along when she did. She really loved us. And she did everything she could to make us happy. And I remember if it started storming outside, she'd get all of us and put us all on the bed together. So if anything happened, we'd be together. And she just loved us, and she did everything she could to prove it.
Well, growing up as a little girl, I grew up on a farm. We had lots of fun, animals, did lots of work, and had a very strict mother, kind of lenient father. Well, she made us go to church, and she always had refreshments, and we ate good, and she had things we could always sneak into and eat good, and we had nut trees and fruit trees, and she always too had made us a small playground that we enjoyed. So, and we'd go fishing. She didn't mind that. We'd finish our fishing and come home and cook in the yard.
I remember growing up as a little girl, the best thing I can remember. One thing, Mom always traveled. She would leave Arkansas and go to St. Louis, so come to St. Louis. So I always remember the trip on the bus. That was always exciting. But being there, actually, I remember Mom taught me how to dig potatoes, how to pick okra off the vine, how to pinch garlic, to sniff it, and I'm a garlic lover. I mean, wow. And those were the days when it was just the two of us and we would sit under this tree that was in the field. And it was like just our world. I don't think she realized that, but it was the time that I felt that I could just communicate with her.
Because we didn't let no ripping and running, you know. And I didn't run and rip. All I do is sit at the house, you know, sing the blues.
I would like to go around to your grandmother's house because your mother, Ophelia, she liked to sing, and I liked to, when I would follow her, and then we had a little singing group, Ophelia and Della and Jeanette. We all would go singing. We were very close, and I miss her. I still miss her. I really haven't been real interested in going to St. Louis since she's been gone. Real bad. White people, they had signs up until 1960, I believe it was, where they taken down the white-only signs, white-only restrooms, white-only water fountains.
Mom brought her religion, her hopes, and her dreams with her when she left the South. When she left Arkansas, she brought God. She kept God in the mix in our family, and that's what kept us strong to this day.
For her to have come here and to have established what she established when she came here, to have brought 14 children into this world, some of them with degrees, some of them without degrees. Most of them, for the most part, have been successful. She has leaped and hurdled over all of the barriers and obstacles, starting with the Jim Crow era. Starting with the Jim Crow era as a black woman in the Jim Crow era.
Because I remember him sharing with us, how the story of how, his mom came here and how, he found a place for everybody to live so that, everybody could be pretty much in the same area so they could be taken care of and looked after.
I just thought that it was just awesome the way her and my dad just really moved together. And so the relationship was wonderful, I feel, and I know my dad did because he would always say, well, I'm going home to my mom. And I say, well, all right then, we'll tell your mom I said hi, so it was great. It was great. I really enjoyed my father, especially at a time in my life when I really needed a father most. Feeling a little bit low, but he made the world seem right for me. At that point, it was, when I realized that he was my heaven. And he told me, he said, you are the belle of the ball. And I knew then that I loved my dad more than ever. Sorry.
I remember a lot of things about my older brother, Alexander Whittier, which we called him Junior. One of the main things that I remember about my big brother is that he was never a liar. To me, one of the greatest guitar players ever to be never discovered. He was a dynamic, wonderful guitar player.
Well, I think he was her favorite. And I think it's always like that with the oldest, and especially one that is obedient and will do what you ask them to do. He always made it a point to try to please his mother. Always did.
Grandmother used to tell me, and I remember walking down the street wearing an overcoat and always saying that I was cold. I remember that. And I remember the fact that I used to climb up the steps at the brownstones down there on Pappan, climbing up the steps, going to grandmother's house and squeezing her little fur balls, her little fur dogs, which were actually pipe cleaners that had been fashioned into like poodle dogs.
And I used to squeeze them, and she'd fuss at me and get on me about that. And grandmother used to always ask me, what would I want to be when I grow up? Well, at that time, they were still shoveling coal to warm houses. And I used to tell her I was going to be a coal man. And she used to tell me, how are you going to be a coal man with a coat on? That is what I'll never forget.
I would hang around with my uncles who were a little bit older. They would get in trouble and she would lecture me. I remember when I got my first taste of alcohol and threw up in her front room, and she jumped on my uncles because, you know, they were the one who influenced me to do that.
Oh, my husband's relationship with Mom, very good. She called him her black baby. Whatever she wanted him to do, he did it. Like taking her to get her checks cashed and things like that. And so when he died, it was a big blow to her. She said, my black baby's gone. And she said that was the best son-in-law that she had.
Alfonso was a good man. He was a quiet man. He was soft-spoken, but he wasn't no joke.
We got married, and then 2 years later, James came.
Dad was a very good man. Learned a whole lot from my father. He taught me how to be a man, and he's the one who taught me how to respect women. I think I got that attribute from him, and he always spoke highly of my dear.
I mean, I remember giving Mom a dog, Blake. You know, I had got the puppy from someplace. I don't know. I had misappropriated, got him from somewhere, and I brought him home. I never forget it, and his name was Bully.
I was afraid of her dogs. What was her dog name? Was it Bullet? Bullet, amen. They struck the fear of God in me about Bullet, amen.
And I always told the story to my friends. I said, you know, my grandmother had a turtle who could wash his face.
When I met Turtle Lurtle, and I was amazed that she was able to train the turtle.
They said, yeah, right, you're just talking. I said, no, I'm serious. And I said she had a dog that would turn the door down, Bullet. And she trained him how to be so tough. And my grandmother, she's just something. And they didn't believe it, but I believe that the spirit in her that could whisper to the animals and that could whisper to the dogs and to tell them how they need to be. You need to wash your face, or you need to be a tough dog to protect me. Those animals knew that spirit.
I don't think I've ever met anyone as smart as him. And then when I met his mother and realized that she could do just about anything, then I realized that that was a trait that he got, because when I first met him, he was a banker, and then he went into he opened another construction, and he was a wonderful carpenter. And I thought to myself, is there anything that he puts his mind to that he can't do? And then I started to observe the rest of the members of the family, and I realized the Whittiers were all talented. They were really a blessed people. And I realized that it was their mother that is the reason, I think, for many of their blessings.
Our grandmother, Olubi Whittier, is my hero. She is a woman that I admire greatly, I respect greatly, and give great reverence. I revere her in my life. One of the other things I like to mention is that she would take fresh fruit, and she would cut up the fresh fruit, and she would put it on a screen. And she would set the screen outdoor in the summertime, and she would put a cheesecloth on top of it so that you would have dried fruit. Now you buy prunes, dried fruit in the store. So she was already doing that. She really did instill a very strong value system. I'm not going to say that I don't lie, but one of the things that I gleaned from my teaching was to be honest, to be upfront, to be strong, to be respectful, and to be respected.
What it's always been with my dear, with my mom, the biggest priority in their lives has always been their family.
When Obama became president, I know it was amazing for her. I had took her a picture of Obama, the
first black president, and I took it to her house. And I wanted her to have that because she deserved to have that after all these years of all the things that she's seen and in the struggle for us as black people. And now, she gets the opportunity to see this. And I wanted to make sure that she got that picture, and she does.
I want to tell my Aunt Ola B happy birthday, and I love her so much, and I wish her many more, because she's wonderful. She our jewel in our life.
Yes, she is.
Her walk with God was very, very strong. Because of trials and things that she went through that I wish not to go into. And it had to be God that to bring her through divorce and things that she encountered that I remember.
Her strength as a woman and the way she loves Christ is what I would desire more of.
All I've ever known was Aunt Ola B. She was saved, and she'll whoop you if you don't do right, and feed you, and do. She's a person to be admired. If I could just pattern my life at her, I would be a better person. And she's somebody, because she's up in age. God have left her here, but giving us a plenty time to get it together. And that's all she knows is Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
100 years, my aunt has been on this earth. A good woman, a virtuous woman. If my grandmother was here, she would be a little well over 100 herself. But I know that right now in heaven, she's rejoicing. I know she's rejoicing. She loved it herself. And her brother, that 100-year-old woman, is the last of the Pattersons.
And if I had to live my life over again at home, I would, except in the field. Because I wouldn't date no young man that lived in the country. Because I wasn't going to marry and be down there in that cotton field. I just couldn't take it. And so when I met my husband, he was out of service, and I was in high school.
I was sitting one day, I would say going off about some things all by myself, alone. And she made the statement, when you finish having your conversations with yourself, I like to talk to you. And she just bust out laughing, and it was so funny the way that she said it, because I was sitting in that corner, and she was in the back. I didn't know anybody was listening to me talk about the evil doings toward me. And she just bust out, when you finish talking with yourself, I like to talk to you.
Family can heal. Family can help. Family can protect. It's very important that we realize nothing is greater than family except for the love of God. And I found out that when you love God, God will teach you how to love family, and you'll appreciate family.
My grandmother, who is awesome. And everywhere I go, I speak about her and her strength and her knowledge, her wisdom. Because when I look at that, we all have to have a role model. And my role model, as far as being a woman and learning how to be a woman, has come from my grandmother and my mother.
Mom did many things, and even to this day, when I go and talk to grandmother, I know she missed my mother, and I know I miss my mother. That was my best friend.
Thank God for her prayers.
I'd like her to know that when I did all those wrong things, I don't regret it at all. But I'm glad she was there for me to correct me. I'm glad she taught me about God.
Well, I think when I think about her, I think about the Proverbs 31 passage about the virtuous woman. And in that passage, it talks about how this woman took care of her household and how she made garments for her family and how she cooked and how she was respected in the neighborhood. And I think about Mom Whittier. I call her Mom because that was the kind of woman she was. Anybody who knows her respects her, including me, as a virtuous woman, as a Christian woman. And so as I met her and got to know her, I wanted to be more like her. And so I want to pattern my life like hers.
Character-wise, I think that my mother was a very determined person. She believed in achievement. She didn't like doing things on a second-hand or that'll-do basis. I mean, she liked to see things through to its end. And she was also a part of her character, and I guess this was true because she had as many kids as she did. But in the process of completing whatever, she would always be an instructor all the way through that too, you know. So it was a situation where I think that my mother, she proved herself in terms of how she loved us.
And I thank her for all my whoopings. I really want to say that, Blake. I thank her for every whooping that Mom gave me, because had she not, man, I wouldn't be here talking to this day. I'm 61 years old, and I thank her for every chastising that she put down on me. Some of them wasn't right.
I hated the fact that she disciplined me so very rigidly. And I can thank her for that now, but I realize why she did that. As me being a man of God and a Christian, I understand that when you chase after someone, you do it because you love them, and it's for the benefit of them. And I'm living proof, sitting right here talking about it. It's real. It's true.
And you was a witness on some of the whoopings that I got, that I, you know, and I like to share that to the point that, you know, Mom would go easy on us if one of the other members was around, and you got a lot of money off of me back in the day for, you know, just hanging around, and so Mom would whoop me or put me light and let me slide, you know.
I get teary-eyed when I speak of my grandmother. That's how much I love her. My grandmother first asked me to do her feet and her toes. I thought that was the most hideous request. But then I realized that a lot of people could go to grandmother and ask her many things. And she always said that my bond, my word is my bond. If I give you my word I'm going to do something, then I'm woman enough to stand on it. She would always say, never send a kitten to take care of a cat's work. So when I look back on my grandmother and how she was a model and an image before me, I get a little teary-eyed because she's taught me a lot of what it means to be a woman. It's just totally interwoven in my fiber.
I just had a heart attack April 13th, 2015. And the first thing came in my heart was my mother. And I knew my mother was praying for me, that she didn't want me to leave. And I thank you for being there in my heart, because my mind reflected on you when you know, it seemed like the devil was trying to take me away. You was my angel. You was definitely the wind beneath my wings that protected me, you know, through your love for Christ and Christ's love for you. He spared me to be here, to see, to witness your 100th birthday. And I thank him for that.
Growing up, I did not appreciate her. I didn't know what I had, but she's a jewel.
What did I do to live as long as I'm living? I told him that I serve God and worship God and live right. And that's the reason why God let me stay here as long as he did.
I love you. Happy birthday.
She may not make the Time magazine's front page like civil rights activists and folks that are known by the world, but she's made such an impact on a great number of people that that she deserves to be on the cover of Time magazine. But I think her name is in a better place, and that's in God's roll book of good, solid woman of God. And there's a lot of folks on Time magazine who won't make that. So I want to say she's a wonderful person, and I love her, and I pray that God bless her to live many, many, many more years.
I can't express just how much she means to me, being my grandmother and being, you know, for her 100th birthday. You know, she's a very special woman, very pioneering woman.
She's with us every single day. She's in our mind, our hearts, our souls. She's in every decision that we make because of the way that we were taught by her.
If there were more grandmothers like her today, we wouldn't have the situation with our children and families like we have.
I have enjoyed the ride as being the daughter-in-law to Mother Whittier. And
She was a good mother-in-law. Very good mother-in-law. She didn't take no wood knickers though.
I'm her number 14 baby girl. I can't begin to tell you the whole story. All that I can say is she's been my best friend in the world. I don't know what I would have ever done without her, and just seeing her to her journey's end has been my goal.
Oh, if I could just sing a little excerpt of a little song. It's by Brent Lamb, and it says, there's a lot I never said to you, though I really don't know why. Maybe I thought that you would laugh. Maybe I knew that I would cry. But the greatest gift you ever gave is the one gift I'm especially thankful for. You taught me about Jesus. Now I can say for sure that it was worth it all. You didn't waste your time. Everything that you went through for this life that I call mine, and you were always there to pick me up when I would fall. And I hope that you can say it was worth it all.